Well, hello. I'm back and let's try again with some streaming. Hopefully it works out and I don't have to end earlier, but I guess we will see. This weekend I at least hadn't any pain, so I assume it should be over, hopefully. Alright, let's get started. We have to fix the starting of a combat if enemies spawn. The issue which is currently that the enemies don't know that they should move, I think. I should maybe get an enemy empty object where I can make it apparent so I have them collected anywhere. So they're waiting for movement and they don't have their points is correct and their movement task, that's fine. Should get starting spots, but we don't. Then let's check the spawning script again. All right. So we check if it's a hostile, which is not null. So in this case it's bound to hostile, and here we go, here we have the issue. We don't do the interaction stuff in the beginning. So if hostile is null, we do the normal stuff, and else we do the other one. Gotta change that later on if we have them standing out, but the important part should be that they do what they are supposed to do. So let's get that one in here. Spawned hostile, and the first parameter is gonna be null. Alright. And there we get another reference error. That's great. Because I forgot to change it to the correct parameter. So, still not working. I didn't want to hit the canvas, I want to hit the enemy over there. It still has no starting points. Is this for both of you? You don't have them either. In this case it's not null. The error before also stated this one is doing something. Starting spots at hit movement time. So if hostile is null, so we get in here. Did I maybe forgot to add the length and that stuff to the prefab? Yeah. No, I don't remember. Do I divide? Yeah. So that should be the case. I want also to add another empty game object in here, which we call hostiles. We want to adapt the script for the enemies. It's in the room, and here we go. I want a serialized field of type transform, and this one I call hostile collect parent. Here we go. This one has to be assigned in the inspector. So we can just drag that one. Oh. Yeah, not working that way because it's a prefab and that's not a prefab. I think. Or was that? Do I have to change this to a game object? I'm not sure right now. Just gonna try that out. Yeah, because it's in the prefab and I can't assign it like that. Then we're going to do something else. We don't need that, and you're going to say transform, set parent, and the parent is going to be find transform that. Game object, text type. How was it? To find game object dot find, and we called that hostiles. And we want to transform over that one. Now this one fills up if you have an enemy, that's correct. And now I just can... this saves all of them. That's interesting. And they all get their starting positions now. Which means this one should now be able to get out of there, which still doesn't happen. Like to see that one. Oh, that only gets that one it stands on. That's great. That's exactly what I wanted. Okay. So now, I didn't want to click again. Let's find out why they're not moving. Here, and settle turn. Do we call the combat start by chance? In combat only, okay. That generation combat to an end. Start, you open. Didn't we make like turn, handle turn? Oh yeah, right. But this should. This get invoked by the player itself. So I would have to invoke that after all of that, which I do if we are in combat and we are starting the combat when they are spawned in and get triggered. On combat start, invoke. Let's invoke and combat is true. So the on turn end gets invoked. And that one contains. We could check debug.log current turns dot count. Just to check if they get added to that. Didn't spawn anyone now. So it seems there should be only a counter in there. So the invoke seems not to work. Otherwise, I should just have a number in here. Turn end, handle turn. Do we? Yeah, we do add that as a listener. That's fine. And since this one is not asynchronous, it should also wait till all of that is done, and only after that it should do that. Looks like callbacks. Yeah. On to an end. That's right. And we should also be in combat. Just to make sure. So this one stays false, interestingly. Could it be that it automatically sets to false because we don't have any item in here? Then the best choice would be don't know if I want to add more functionality to that, but let's find out anyway. Combat start, and we are not going to start the combat on the spawn of the enemy, but only at the enemy. So let's have a look. It still says false. So do the rooms. Does the script maybe gets called too early? But still though, we have technically one enemy in there. Let's see if that one is the issue. Let's do the hostile invoke that again. That stays false, it's right. Don't have yet an enemy spawned, no enemy spawned. Nothing spawned. There we go, got an enemy spawn and it still says false. Am I doing something wrong? Uncombat start invoke. Uncombat start in combat is true. And we never set that to false after that. Do I make maybe something in here? Well, there is awkward one through, which means those should. So if that one is this one should have already run in this stage. Otherwise, this one would run into a reference error, maybe. Let's have a look. Debug, log, combat control. So let's see. This one shouldn't return null. Yeah. So he has its stuff. Out of curiosity, when do you get called? Yes, this room spawns happening during the creation, that's alright. Do I want to keep it for that purpose? So yeah, I guess it's fine. Guess this should be alright. So in this case, add a null value isn't possible. The reason I'm checking that because I'm not sure if that really would happen. Let's check the update. Because yeah, we register one enemy. That's right. This means in combat is true. Combat and combat turn end. Right, I'd never do automatically end the combat. I would think so, at least. So we don't have a combat and just that listener. Alright. So this is working, this is working. This is really because I'm doing that in the start of the room spawning. And I don't see the issue in that being the case. Let's change that. Maybe we can do that at a later part, which means I will move the spawn room here. I will remove the spawn room here. And that should be the last occurrence of that one. Now, make a public void, which we call spawn rooms. Don't need parameters, and we are going to iterate through each dungeon rooms. For each var dungeon room in dungeon rooms, we want dungeon room.value.spawn room. And that should be fine. And hello, Black Lion. So this means we have that now separated, and from the Dungeon Master, you are currently creating the dungeon temporarily. Yes. After that, before we spawn the play, we do that after spawning the player. Dungeon map dot spawn rooms. Was it that? Yeah. This means this now gets called after the player is set. Let's see if I might have the issue I assume now. Actually, I just get a dark room without anything in here. That's fine. Again. We get hostiles. But it seems the room trigger doesn't work apparently. Let's get that before the player. And now it works. But we are still not starting the combat for some reason. So funnily enough, Such a check itself is pretty bad in here because each room is going to invoke that. What we are going to do is... I don't want to return a value in here. On the other hand, I could manage to do that. We are just going to return false. And yeah. And now. We have access to the hostile, which means in here we could say hostile can directly return hostile, but this one is not public, I assume. So we should get the triggered state. Public will get triggered state. Maybe just return triggered. And we want get triggered state. I made the name wrong here. Where was it? There. And capital G. Here we go. Now let's have a look. But that's not helping entirely. Thank you, Jesus Bob. First off, let's remove the debug statement. This piece is working, and in the room I'm going here for each. Let's get a bool in here. Respond. We got hostile, which is default to false. We are going to set that in here, and instead of that we are going to check that. And now let's see what happens. No enemy spawns. That's quite a test. No enemy there. And now there we have an enemy, but he didn't come out. Let's see. Do we actually debug log? turn and triggered. And let's add turns with turns left. All right. So we don't get to that. Oh, actually, you're not triggered. That's right. But you're triggered. But still no debug information that the invoke worked. I'm doing something wrong. Onto an end, at least now onto an end. I did that one correctly, as far as I know. And onto an end, invoke. This looks alright to me too. Let's debug that one real quick. Debug dot log spawned triggered hostile. So there should be a true in there at some point. 40 times false. So this one is doing spawn room. Spawn to POI, we get, we check if it's not null. If it's not null, we don't return, so this one gets executed after anyway. This only gets executed as soon as this for loop is finished, which does happen. So we spawn the POI, we check if it's not null, then we get the item or hostile. One of them is null, the other one is not. The item gets its stuff done. And else if this one works as well now. I haven't checked that one. I just assume that this one works. And with that, we set it to true if one spawns. Since we are returning over here beforehand, so this one never gets hit. Let's do that. Well, technically triggered should be fine too, since I'm in the room with it. But let's just make sure that the triggered state also gets that, because I know the aggro part gets set. Is triggered. Yeah, okay. That's fine. Arcwood is fine as well. It gets its points, so we do get into that code. The room also has 2 spawned enemies, which means the condition there is working correctly. Do I miss something? Let's rename that real quick. Growth. Hostile. Let's go into the hostiles file, get a growth state, because I mean this all still happens in the same function, so I wouldn't assume that it is not submitting that one correctly. So trigger gets oh, that's a nice question. When does the trigger happen? Is that I don't think that this is a issue in here. What could it be the issue though? Yeah, that's exactly the issue, since the trigger happens. Well, when exactly does the trigger happen again? Is this happening on the player spawn? Set current, room share. I see. Yeah, okay. And here happens actually is the trigger of the items, right? Yes. So, no. Kinda don't care anymore. We don't meet the returns anymore. We can change that one back to avoid. We don't have to set that value anymore. We can just get the Dungeon Master. Oops, what did I do there? So you get removed, you get renamed to Dungeon Master dot in combat. And you're simply going to change the location. Boom, change. If for each yada 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 yada. So here the hostiles are spawned, which means now we actually know if we are in combat or not. The reference error. Hooray! We got more. And we actually got into the loop. So dungeon spawn player prefab. This one has another reference error. I don't think so. Handle turn is the next one. So why exactly are you sending me to the dungeon master? I don't know. Is it because... yeah, whatever. Handle turn. So this one is actually the last one. Does the player actually not... but those didn't move. And the player shouldn't be in there. Character movement, set current turn to true. So the possibility that this one is not correctly set. Let's check that. Character movement is set, and there it's set correctly too, and the player it's set correctly too. It should also be set when this function gets called. So we might have the error somewhere else, obviously. So this one shouldn't be null. On turn end. Handle turn. This one shouldn't be null too. Mine, we can actually check that one. Let's see if that one is a null error culprit. Oh, wow, this is... oh, yeah, alright, this is because I changed something. So we still get this. One is working correctly. Handle turn. This one should be fine too, though. Oh, there's actually a null value in there. So this actually means the trigger happens before they initialize all their stuff. Oh, that's interesting. Well, gotta be real short moment. AFK, just a moment. Alright, here we go again. I'm back and let's see if we can actually fix that error. The obvious part would be to change that one from start to awake. So there are two different functions which run when the the object gets initialized. It's awake and start. Start is just before the update method, before any update method is called for the first time. Maybe that one is still too late for all of my functions, and awake gets called as soon as this one is instantiated. I actually don't know if this could be too early for the other two things, but since those are attached to the object, I guess that should be fine. So all of that gets instantiated at the same time. And in fact, this may have been the error. No, there's something else, and you shouldn't have walked to the front. Let's have a quick look. You're not combat ready, and you got 2 starting positions. Actually... 30? 36, those are in the front of you. Yeah. Actually, that's right. So this one is now the next issue. Show movement range. Now I actually don't know on which one this is trying to work. We still have the main arrow there. That one gets actually run a ton. Which actually could be the reason that it's because it's belonging to the enemy. So I should actually check in here. If it's a player character. Now, do I want to automate that? Interestingly, in combat though, this one shouldn't actually run. You move out very instantaneously. It's not exactly what I want to see. Your movement is moving, still moving for some reason, and you're still on the current turn. It's not combat ready yet. So there is set movement target. So this one actually has somewhere a null reference error. Character movement. What is that one doing? I actually don't know anymore what I did there. Oh right, that there are visible. That's it. So it's actually says that movement target which has this error? Yeah. But why though? This one is null. This hostile preparation. Do I need to return? Wait a second, moving through. That one is null, so it gets ignored. And those are not enabled. This means this one actually runs into an error. So do I need all of that? Technically I don't. Which means I copy that one in here and return directly. Now the next thing... right, I can't do that right now. I have to keep that in mind. Just want to check if it now works correctly. He moves out and we don't get an error. Now the question is, he is combat ready. Still on the current turn, which shouldn't happen. Because... oh wait, he has still 2 action points. So this works for the enemies as well. This is nice. I would like to reduce his speed. I mean, what has a player for speed? 3. Let's take for the enemy the same for now too. I guess on the initialization we won't be... well, it's still kinda instantly, but that's fine. But now I would love to know... it's moving over there and it still has 2 points. Which actually means... this one doesn't... Use up all moves. You don't do that, right? Wait. Who actually does that? That current turn true if hostile dot handle turn. This is your general control script. If is not combat ready. This doesn't seem to do anything. Great. Character movement, modify action points. Let's see. We implemented that function. I am pretty sure. Set movement points. Modify. Plus equals. Let's say, since I have mostly issues with that, let's type the wrong form. Yeah, I mean, you say I should do that, but honestly... Yeah, but this clearly didn't work, so... Oh wow, one of them moved. That's correct, because the other one isn't allowed to move. Because it's not his turn yet. Because he still is... In the opinion, he still has... one movement point. No, wait. He is still in the assumption he has 2 movement points. I love it. It's absolutely not working. So you are supposed to be fine, I assume then. Modifier is -99. That should be fine too, I guess. That one shouldn't be called. Well, I maybe overwrite it somewhere. I don't think so, but just to make sure. Yeah, that one sets it to -99. And you actually have all of your movement points left. And you're still moving. There's still something off about that. Let's see. Set movement. Moving to true. Waiting for movement is supposed to be false. Alright, we don't get... Shouldn't care, that shouldn't care. Move. I mean... Here always be moving. This doesn't reset. Let's check that code. Next waypoint. We only have one waypoint. So this should be 1 then. I see, alright. And we have 0 on there, so this one works false. Action points negative, negative. That's 0, waypoints not clear. If in combat. Why actually do I do that in here? Did I forget to remove that? Seems so. Oh wait, no, that's corrected. It's in there because that should run if you only move one tile and you return after that. So that one doesn't even run. Okay, that's fine. Still should mean if the hostile moves out of its cove, he should actually not be moving anymore, but for some reason this is still the case. Also, the tile doesn't get set as far as I'm concerned, which is bad too. Here it even didn't change the action points. That's odd. Never clear. Character movement is null. When do we actually set the new tile we are going to move on? If you're not doing it in here. Movement target. Not maybe in here, do we? I think this is the whole waypoint stuff I coded, right? Yeah. This is just the movement logic itself, which we jump since we are just at one waypoint itself in here. And we set that to the movement target as well. Moving through, we don't change the room. We set that on false. This one disables all of those tiles. All of that is completely fine. Let's see, on mouse, up. We set the current tile there. Is that the case? Character movement. We don't have a reference to the tile. That seems then. Have to get that one in at some point too. Yeah. Does the tile actually have a reference? Movement tile load. Mouse enter, exit. Yeah, right, this one is not working because we don't clicking into that one. Do I need that for enemies though? Since there is blocked, can be stated still after that. Well, let's continue on the main issue. So the first enemy actually moves to its waypoint. We set that one by hand with this function. Let's just make one check. Not that we have something I'm missing here. Waypoints dot count, because that one should be on 1, on the best case at least. One, yep. You're moving out. And that's it. You are still moving, right? Yeah. And you get only this waypoint, which is alright too. The current tile, I have to set that later on. And look, rotation is a later issue. Zero. This one didn't lose its action points though again. Which is a bit strange. Why though are you actually not losing any action points anymore? The modifier I changed back. So the debug statement. Is it possible that it resets over here? Debug, the clock. AP, but AP got reset. Just to make sure that this is not happening. Oops. So that's actually not the case in here. So it seems he is thinking that he didn't finish its movement for some reason. Transform is 0. Is it possible? It shouldn't technically. Just to make sure. This should hit 0. Yeah. Here we go. And then funnily enough we get that. Which you had on the first try. This time again. So with the debug.log we get actually there. Which then also deducts the action point and disables the moving state. I actually have no clue why this is supposed to working now and not before. But then still I would like to know why so actually let's run more tests. If I debug, he moves too far. And I was on the assumption move towards is a correct function, where this actually should not happen. Let's have a quick look. So it actually just seems to be the top spawn which has this issue. The top thingy there. Because the bottom one gets to a null reference error. No, it's inconsistent. Could be frame rate. I mean, we never used direction. Yeah, this is for looking at, I think, which I currently not using. Though there could be the... It's interesting that it's only now merging. Since on the general movement, all of that worked perfectly fine. So this means the distance we should round. Can I do that? Math. F dot round. And now I should at least get constant the null reference error. Which is a start. Because of this function. And that is actually not working because we don't have a starting tile. But actually this shouldn't work if it's an enemy. Which means we will set a bool in here. Private bool is enemy. Public void set enemy and is enemy true. Let's just default that one to false. Now on the combat controller where we set that one, we can say that enemy, and now we can simply say this only if no enemy. Then we shouldn't be getting the null reference errors anymore. Perfectly. You actually didn't move all the way over there. All right. Surrounding is no option. We could say you make that one a bit more lenient by 2 decimal points. I still absolutely don't like that. I mean, he is technically speaking on that point. I mean, let's see how far we can go with it. Maybe add another decimal point. Well, let's add 2 decimal points to that. I mean, actually, now I don't know if. I mean, I can look in here. Yeah, well, yeah, it's working. It's still not. Why is this actually? Ah. Actually, the parent had a slight weird position. Could it have been the issue all along? Let's have a look. We moved 1 bracket too much. So he's moving over there, and yeah, this might have been the issue that the okay. The parent was slightly not centered, and with that, the position never was able to align unless through an on the way there kind of point. Well, I don't know. Shouldn't technically haven't worked anyway. Because the movement target would have been always somewhat different. Now we're actually gonna want to set the tile. Which shouldn't be an issue over here. Since we have the movement target. And in this case, especially, I could say that current tile. And that one is that one. That get component of type dungeon room movement tile. And that should be it. The tile itself doesn't need to know that. Now the great question is that one. Maybe. There may be a wait. What a wait. Wait. Here we go. There might be a huge chance that the start actually changes it back to the... Oh, nice, you didn't move. Well, you're saying you're moving, but you're not. Great. At least you have your current tile. Number 7, but you didn't move there. Wait a second. What I could have looked. Yeah, you guys are just sitting there. Do whatever you want. Your actual minor points actually don't change. Now why is it? Because I changed that one to awake? Or is it because I set your tile beforehand? It's actually because of the awake function. Are you serious? But why though? Is it because you're doing all that stuff? It looks like it. Well, you get your moving tech, but you're clearly not moving. Well, you don't even get your current turn. And it actually triggers on turn end. But you're not on a turn anymore. Does that maybe get invoked? Pa, 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 pa. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's just take that one out of there, that's fine. That's really it. So actually it gets its action points. And because of that, he says he's out of turns. Because all after that runs separately. Oh. That's interesting. Because it's not its turn anymore, it's just... Ah. I get it. Alright, I know what to do. Actually, how do I want to do that? So, on our end, I'm curious. If this happens, is the player its turn? Nope. So that's not the case. Yeah, it should actually be the case in that case, though. And I did try moving. I had that before I wasn't able to move anymore. So there's still something with the order, I would assume. Does the player actually get even add to the order? To prepare a new turn is just reset action points, yeah. So I actually would love to know the count. Alright, the player is in there. The turn mechanics just doesn't want to work. This part is doing what it's supposed to. It runs just one time. And then I actually have to invoke that, right? Let's just copy the line because I'm feeling lazy. So if that one is through, this one should be invoked. Doesn't fix the problem right now, but the player should start with its turn, which is exactly what is happening. He also reserved the spot. Alright, alright. Let's finish our move, and he is moving then. So this part is actually doing what it's supposed to do. That's nice. Now we have to fix that the enemy doesn't prematurely end his turn. Because when actually do we check that? Is it the combat control with check? Actually, yes. Which, so this actually means, alright, I know. So hand the turn is combat ready, we do hostile preparation is false. Alright, we remove that line in here. And let's go to the movement. We need a private bull in here. Private bull is an hostile preparation, which is default false. Let's rename that to weird like all offer naming I have in here. I still want to use enemy, but I want to keep that on hostile. Just because, yeah, that's the best reason I would assume. And here we have is hostile preparation. True. That's the only place where that one gets that. And we add over here if is hostile preparation, where we want to set action points to 0. That's fine. I'm fine with that. Let's just make that before the return. And also we are going to set this hostile preparation to false. Alright. Then we have the actual movement of the starting turn of the enemies. Still a bit choppy, but yeah. The second one works perfect. So, if I now move over there, one of those two should have its turn now. Yes. Now we technically need some basic AI for the enemies. So now the question is, we have to handle the enemy movement, which means a hostile handle turn. Again, he does that. For now, I would assume just follow the player. Or do we want to disable the combat for now? Because having an actual AI then on the other hand, this could be a bit a big thing, and I don't really have basic combat yet in there. Well, it's technically the time to get at least a basic combat system in here. So we should get the opportunity to attack. Now let's think about that. Well, let's check if a room change works just fine as well. Well, yeah, he doesn't see me. That's fine. It's not triggered. Let's change over here. No enemy spawned. And now we actually got into combat. That was very strange indeed. Gotta have a look into that. So now we would actually have interest. No, the enemies are triggering all of that. That's fine. So I can actually move those debug statements. All right, let's think about that. Let's maybe make the enemy move towards us first. How do we actually want to do that? Well, actually the enemy should know it's player controller, should it? So having a private adventurer. What do you want to call it? Just target. Call it combat controller, target. That would be a nice preparation if we have more than one character in the dungeon. So actually, yeah, I want to do that. So I want the combat control target, which is going to be a list. All right, now when do we get our target? Technically, can I add that on the trigger? It should be possible since I only have the current adventurer there. think about that. I could prepare that one at least, or make that one extractable. Combat control. Get combat control. And in that case, we are just returning combat control. So we will only add one to the list for now. But we can later on add more. Since the trigger is anyway on the spawned hostile separated. Yeah, the hostile knows about it, so he has the target, right? Yeah. So let's get a public void set targets. On the other hand, we have the trigger function over here. We could add that over here. Which is probably the best choice, since we already have that as a function. And let's do that like that. Targets. Now the question is, do we want to set that only if that runs a trigger, or can the target change during combat? I have to really think about that. We'll adapt that probably at some point. But for now, let's just Dot at range touch. All right. And here we need for now yeah, I guess. I think I can do it like that. Collection. Was it like an array? Yeah. Let's do it just for now like that. Which means we should have ourselves now as a target in here. So they move out, which is great. Still I have forgot to remove that one. Yeah. Gets probably because of the update called a lot. I'm fine with that though. Now, do we have... Right, I can't... Oh no, I can. We have a player now as a target. That's nice. Now we want to get to its position, but without stepping exactly on the tile. Just close to it is fine. All right. how much would I need to adapt? Show movement range, prepare movement. I think that one is actually what shows me. Yeah, I have to adapt it, all of that. I can actually remove all of that now, since it's not needed anymore. So I would actually have to adapt that one. And use the distance to the player. Yes, that's about right. So I want a public function actually in that. Yeah, I want a public function. Void move hostile to target in that case, I would say. Now, what do I need for that function to work? I want an int used actions. So I know I want that I know how far I want to move with that one. Now the question is, what is if I have 2 range per action? I guess I want to maximize use of that, so that's fine. Now I want I guess target. Do I want a director vector 3 or transform in that case? Let's make it easier and let's get transform. Target position, I would say. And do I need anything else? Actually, I wouldn't know if I need more than that. So I want to adapt that code. To work like that, but instead of action points, I want the points I'm going to use. That one stays the same, and instead of that we are directly adding, preparing the target for that. Well, not exactly. We're going to mix that up a tad, because we need those arrays, the distance, and this finished, because we only take the finished one anyway. That's right. So I actually take more part of the waypoint function. But that's completely fine, I would say. Do I even add the tile? I don't know. Gotta check that. That's very important. So I actually could just copy that and... Well, nah, this one accepts it, expects it. Yeah, well, it's kind of expected target, so it's not the same. So we want then actually the closest one to be the target. There's definitely some stuff to adapt. Could I just change this function to hit both options? Kinda. But then this one has to accept multiple... I don't really want to do that though. Let's get the basic function over. So I need that. What is this one doing in there? Oh, this is for the auto start of combat, okay. So instead of action points, we are going to use actions. You have all of that stuff, that's okay. And start path is done. Yeah, all of that is exactly what it's supposed to do. So what we are now going to add is the remaining stuff we had here. Well, not the valid one, but we want check the distance. So what is the start position? Huh? What exactly did this function do? I mean, it's working, but I actually don't know how it... That's the target and that's the la... Huh? How actually... Oh, because I'm in the first move there. Yeah, okay. Makes sense. So I want to actually have the check distance again. I do that after check for movement, which means actually in those. Now. Need a vector 3 for that. The last distance. So next preferred path. That's all that, which means we just need the path to add in that case. A start path. Since I am looping through those. But this one is the actual distance comparison. Now we have a new vector there, target position. Do I actually use... Which is going to be exactly that one. So we can just use that one. We have to check a distance for that one too, don't we? But actually I could just do that. Oops. So if I access this one, distance is not that one, but actually this one. In that case, I could actually use that function. Let's do it like that. Make that one small and quick. Distance is actually that function over there. Let's move that one down. I can use target position. And over here I will just use 0. So this one is actually not checking which one is getting closer though. Do I want to check that on the way? Would make it faster, I would assume. But that would mean I would have to change that stuff. So now actually I don't want to do that. And then I would have to think about a line of sight. Could do that with collisions. So this would be the issue. So actually, yeah, I still want to check distance in there because that one is going to save the distance itself. So this means I can then check after that just for the closest tile? Is it that? Technically speaking, it should be fine after that, yeah. I only need the distance, technically. So if that one is through, I want... How did I do that over here? Finished is not the correct one. Technically, I need to loop through each one now. So let's say we have a float which we call distance, which is going to be infinity. Now we say for each movement paths, current path and current paths. Let's also say How does it all work? Just with transforms, right? Transform target. Yeah, that's fine. Which means I want to transform. Target tile is null. We check if current path dot distance is smaller than distance. We are going to say target tile is does it work like that? Position. That one really is directly. Oh, that's vector 3 waypoints. We actually set that one. In here, yeah. Doesn't the function actually so this checks if the tile is there. But actually yeah, right, this one sets the movement tile. I added it over here. That's fine. So we have that accessible. So I actually also need that one. And it's not in the blocked state. Don't need that. Don't need that. So do I want to translate that to a transform? How did I? Yeah, I guess. I can't do it like that. Now actually, because if I get current path dot position, that one is obviously not working. Let's have a deep talked about that. 2 or 3 to transform. That's not exactly what I'm looking for. So... Per movement, I need the transform of the target. Oh, actually. I have that one. And that should be it. And after that, we do basically that one. Do you set moving? Or do I have to do that myself? Oh wait, wrong. Set movement target. Because that is not the case. Prepare movement, that does that stuff. And the remaining stuff should exactly do what it's supposed to do, except that one. Let's say is hostile is false. And only then that one should happen. Yeah. Alright. This seems about it. Now, how do we know if we are close enough? Actually, I know how. So we can return in this one. Now, stupid mouse. Alright, let's try if it works now. No. Now over here. First I want a private, let's say, combat control, which is going to be the main target. And let's say main target is going to be target. Zero for now. Going to have to adapt that later on at some point, or make that changeable. But there's still there's a lot of stuff which will have to be adaptable on the run later on. But for now, it's important that the base works. Now we can check just to make that a following script. If now how was that? Was it vector 3 dot distance? We are checking transform and main target. Dot position. Transform. Dot position. The same as my this one's position. And if that one is smaller than bigger than 1.1 float, just to have a little inconsistency avoided in there, we want to move closer to the target. So the character movement, move hostile to target. Now, how many action points do we want to use? Get action points. Let's say we currently want all action points. And our main target is going to be our target. So I forgot to add the brackets over here. I will quick check the function later on. Else, let's say we are going to modify the action points for now, which is going to be character movement, modify action points, and let's say negative 99. With that, it should actually move closer to me. Just want to check the get function. Get action points, return action points, that's fine. This means the enemy should... Oh, that's great. On turn end, invoke. But still we can move. That's interesting. Yeah, let's give me a second. And let's see if he is trying to follow. Yeah, no, he's still, I see there's still the reference error in here. Oh, over here, that's right, that's right. Most likely because he didn't have a target, maybe? Reference error still. Main. Oh, that's a main object. Combat. Main target. There should be. We have targets, and the main target is available as well. All right. Move hostile to target. Check for movement. Then do I actually not say which room the enemy is supposed to be in? Yep. Forgot that. Funny that he actually tries to do that. So this one runs multiple times for some reason. So handle turn gets called multiple times. Why? Or is it something in here? Because this should actually just run one time. Well, actually, this one runs multiple times. So I would actually want... let's make it like that. Private pool. Let's call that on combat turn reset. Let's just default false. We are going to check over here if that is false. On combat turn reset. We are going to set that one to true. And after all of that, it's false again. Which means this should technically just run one time. Close. 18 times. Is it actually this one? Ah, this could be it to private turn ended. False. Now it should run just one time anymore. Keiner. Why does it invoke that frequently? I think I know why. It's most likely it tries to do that. But why is it keep doing that? So this one instantly leaves as a function. So since we are checking here on end turn, to movement get action points. Smaller equals 0 and turn ended as false. We do all of that one. You are just invoking on turn end after you're finished. And you're supposed to do that one time only, you know. This one is at least supposed to be run by each room. Well, let's fix that error and see how it behaves after that. So this one actually has to be done via the room. The hostile, do you have a reference to your character movement? Do you have a get? No. Alright. Now we can easily do that. Not on room change, but over here. Get character movement. And we are going to... Alright. Set current room. This. And this should fix at least the error. Yeah. So, out of curiosity, do you have anything in you now? I mean, you shouldn't have any starting spots, but anyway. Well, you should, but yeah. You have a current tile. Don't have any waypoints, that's fine. Do you now move to me? Out of index. Obviously, you'll show me only that one. 195. This waypoint 0. So you didn't get any waypoints? Do I get that one correctly? Yes, you don't have any waypoints. Since I had two, you two, or that it's only your turn. So yeah. Didn't want to restart. All right. We don't. This one is it's on force. It's fine. So we go into the repair movement statement. We have our target, but we don't get any waypoints back. Can't see the error messages because I restarted. All right. Let's see. This only says that one. That's the issue, which means we have actually a movement target. Which then means we have an issue in here. I actually would assume the check has an issue, maybe. Because no event. No, that shouldn't be the issue. Oh, right, because... Oh, range check, no, that should be... Oh, no, the... Actually, do you still work if I remove that if? Actually, you don't. Why though? Because of that one. This be but this one shouldn't actually care if it's null or not. Should it? Because if I want to move over there, that's such an instance of an object. Why though? I mean, you come out to this line of code. Because I'm not submitting a current path. Happens if you don't check an optional parameter. But this seems to work just fine. So why did I actually do it like that? I don't have a clue. And eat. There we go. Don't need that. Range check. We don't need that pool anymore. Then we can remove the parameter on each of those functions. Then this one is working just fine. Let's see if it's skipping the turn if it moves close to me. No, it has 3 tiles movement. Let's see what it does. Gets over there. Let's do it like that. Oh, you're moving on top of me. Creative. If I stand next to you, you skip your turn. Alright. Now we only have to make sure that you don't move on top of me. Which I actually thought I did. Don't I block the tiles I'm standing on? I should though. Is blocked. And I check if it's false. Which is correct. So why did it still move on top of me? Because it was actually no valid tile. I head over the tile, do I? Let's move that white space over here. This means, yeah, I give that over, though I can get the current tile. Get component, so this is working, I know that. So the tiles should actually know if it's blocked. Then why can he still move on top of me? I mean, I could also add it over there and just don't add it to the array. That would be a possibility as well. Let's try that. If That one is false. We are going to add you. So I can actually just copy that over all of those. And remove it from here. That's right, now you're standing beside me and you don't know what to do because you have one action left. But actually don't were able to move into me, which is a good sign. So make this one now work correctly. Now over here, I guess it should be fine. Say if character movement, that is a get moving state. Because in that case we want actually to return, so we don't get anything else. If that one is false, we want to handle the turn again. Handle turn. And let's move that debug then, because this one is going to be called a lot of times then. But I guess that should be fine. Yeah, that looks alright. Because this is now for each one. And is that good to have a approach? So only all of those which are awkward to me should do that. I have to add that as well, because otherwise, yeah, every enemy. What the hell was that? Alright, because wait, so they. Did they just try to move to me while they're supposed to move somewhere else? Yeah. So this actually triggers before. That's interesting. Okay, that's not that easy then. Then I'm going to have to make that in here possible. So moving do that. Do I want to check the remaining movement points after that? That is not going to work because the movement runs on the update loop. So the function already works while it's moving, which means I would have to await the movement, which let's think about that. What would be could I do it like that? Yeah. Wait. Wait movement. So we do it like that. I have no clue if this works. No, not if in brackets. If character movement get action points is larger than 0. Can I rerun just a function with that? And you're not annoyed by that? You sure? I'm going to try that now. Still doing this stupid stuff. Did I maybe forget to... Update. Did I forget? Oh, I forgot to save. Never mind. It's to talk, so we have to reset again. Now is enough light. He's moved out of there. Let's get a bit closer. And you actually now skipped your turn. And you are not annoyed that you just recall the same function which spawned you. Well, what could go wrong with that? Why do I keep it like that? If it's working. Actually, you're not blocking your tile you're standing on. You stupid little bugger. Why? Actually, I'm not blocking the tile you're standing on. Because I have to set it separately, do I? The character movement. If I... For fuck's sake. I'm just taking you and add you. Why don't I have you in the... Yeah, because 8. Where exactly do you run? You sure about that? Yeah, you sure about that, because otherwise this one gets called on the tile itself when I click on it, because yeah. Move hostile to target. Target tile. I have just to transform. Just changing that slightly. See if that's still working. Huh? You actually didn't move on the tile you're supposed to go? Ha. That was odd. But let's break it. Oh wait, I can't change the room now in combat. So I now have to actually be able to kill you. And maybe not being able to move through you, which would be very helpful. Why does this actually not... because I only check for movement tiles and not for blocked ones. This is an easy fix. God bless. But I guess I'm going to do that tomorrow. Getting a slightly bit of tiredness, so we'll continue with that tomorrow. And yeah, going to thank everyone for chatting, for watching, for liking, subscribing, and all that stuff. And I hope we see us next time. Bye bye.